Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Advent, Part 12. The newest session in our Four Keeps adventure. Today is November 18th, and you are loved and you are appreciated, and I mean that. And I hope that everybody here who is listening will at least go out and tell one other person that they are also loved, because today is a very special day. It is, of course, one of the days that we stream. We do things like this on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you would like to be encouraged to tell those you are close to that you love them, feel free to bring yourself on back whenever we are live. Or you can always go to youtube.com/indooradventures, as that is where we have all of our VODs. So if you want to catch up on this series or Curse of Strahd series or Ghosts of Saltmarsh, any of the other games that we've played, consider going there or wherever anywhere podcasts are available under the same moniker. If you already support us via Twitch and YouTube and audio casts, consider going to patreon.com/indooradventures, where you can gain access not only to our Discord, but also to the after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. We do have a merch store up. It's not very verbose. It has a lot of Todd merch. So if you love our dear friend Philip's goat, consider going to bit.ly/merchindoor. And you can pick yourself up a I've Seen Some Crit mug or t-shirt. It's good stuff. Teespring still hasn't messaged me back about hooking up PayPal, so I cannot make new merch for you guys. I apologize. But with that, that is my spiel. So, hey RJ, who you playing tonight?
Hi, I'm RJ.
Hi, I'm LB Hackamup, and I'm playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter.
Hi, I'm Cyber, and I play Arshant, the Dragonborn Bloodhunter Cleric.
I'm Wings, and I'm playing Coriander, the Eladrin Paladin.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, you all woke up inside of the boughs of this ancient archfey tree. A figure from Ardenon's past was able to help you guys escape and then plan a tactical insertion deeper into the heart of this tree. Upon entering in, you found that there was a furbolg individual that you had known as both Fig and Plum, and you were able to separate them from the ancient ambered heart of this large archfey. Upon doing so, this archfey disappeared. You were able to question Fig, who you later found out preferred to be called Plum, about this, about what had happened here, about interactions that they had had leading up to this experience. Upon having completed your battle with the Archfey, you decided that the only thing left to do to free Greenreach was to deal with the hags that were still around. So you left. You left a area of safety, leaving Rumble Thunder and Cybra with your dear friend Plum, seeing as how he wanted to help you out, but he didn't know exactly how else to do so. And a terrible battle began. As a white dragon made of snow led a blizzard, the four of you quickly were able to defeat this beast, but there were three other figures within the snows above as the Coven of Hags came to you. It was during this fight that Calum ended up suffering a fatal blow and is currently dead in the snow. Corey tried to use a lay on hands, but it was ineffectual, and after a grueling and taxing set of encounters where Gwen was almost mouse-napped, you stand victorious. The blizzard is deceased, and a hag has escaped. The three of you see that Calum's body lies on the ground with snow gently falling on top of it. What would the three of you like to do?
Gwen doesn't know what's going on, so Gwen's gonna just go, "Oh shit! Corey, do the thing! Do the thing!" And she's gonna run over to Calum.
Yep, Corey will run over to Calum and just kind of slide in on her knees. She knows that lay on hands has not worked. She knows that he's dead, but she is going to start petitioning every god that she has access to. She's going to start off with Coralon. She has a duck feather she keeps in her hair from the last time she encountered him. She's just going to touch it, and internally she'll say, I know we're not supposed to ask you for help, but for once, please give me some guidance.
Make a religion check.
Okay. Fuck! Oh, that one's gone forever. I'm so nervous. I'm missing the dice tower. I don't have my dice ready. 6.
Okay. What else do you do?
She is going to previously she would have dug out that the hilt of her sword that the hag had, and she's going to place it on Caleb's chest, put her hand over it, and she's going to start petitioning Elistrae, and Saloon to some degree, and she's just going to pray for his life, saying that she's even willing to give up her status as a moon maiden for this.
Okay. Make a religion check. And are you saying this all aloud, or are you internalizing it?
It's all internal, though her lips could be moving to what she's actually saying. This one is a... Sorry, my microphone is in the way. This one's a 19.
Okay. Arjan, what are you doing? Caleb is not getting up, and you are fairly certain you know what this means.
Yeah, I think Archon did recognize this while the fight was going on, but had enough. Like, it was only the fight that was keeping him going, so right now he is just not very responsive. Just in shock.
Okay. And Gwen, you are seeing Arjan just standing, giving kind of a 1,000-yard stare towards where you and Corey are. You see that Corey is frantically voicing something. There are no words that are coming with it, but it seems like she's not doing the hand thing.
Huh?
And she seems a bit more desperate in what she is doing. And as you are there, reaching out, you can also feel that Caleb doesn't have a pulse.
She's gonna look at Corey and then look to Arjan, like, what is she doing? What's going on? What, Corey, bring him back. Arjan, guys, do something. Maybe Chua can do something about this. I mean, she knows how to do magic like this, right? Guys, say something.
Corey, you are also so you've petitioned Coralon, you have petitioned Elistrae.
Am I getting any kind of response?
You feel like with Coralon, there wasn't a connection that was made. And with Elistray, you know that she has received it. But as far as anything actionable, nothing has directly happened within this period of time.
She waits for a moment. She just kind of looks desperately at the sky. Just like this unsympathetic gray void. And finally she reaches under her armor and she yanks the corvid skull off of her neck. And she just holds it over Calum and she prays to the Raven Queen. And she says, "Take me, not him."
Make a religion check.
"21.
With a 21, you get a response. And the response comes as a full sentence. No breaks. In time, I'll have you both. And that's all that you receive.
She's going to drop the skull, just kind of out of surprise. And she'll just fall back and put a hand over her mouth. And her eyes are just going to start brimming with tears.
And as they do, the corvid skull begins to flash a yellowish color and shakes and begins pointing to the west.
Guys, what are we going to do? We have to do something. Do we know anyone that can take care of this? You guys both came back. Fine. Gwen's going to get up and she's going to start walking towards where the hag went.
Calum's shield is still here.
It is.
Corey will reach for it. Kind of gingerly pick it up. And she's just going to hand it to Arjan.
Arjan's gonna shake his head.
I think he'd want you to take care of her.
I can't be trusted.
Neither can I. She's just gonna like look at Gwen's retreating back, and just kind of look down at Calum and bow her head and sling the shield over her back.
Arjan will pick up Calum.
Okay.
And we'll follow after Gwen.
We'll do that.
Alrighty. So, it takes you several hours of walking to actually trudge through the snow at this point to reach the area where you know the center of these huts to be. And when you arrive, you can see that the huts are empty, and there are a handful of dazed and confused halflings suffering from various forms of frostbite that are trying to talk amongst themselves to try and figure out if they can remember what happened. And they see the lot of you entering into town, and they just seem to scatter. They see your forms and they want nothing to do with these imposing figures, as the last set of imposing figures that they met left them not exactly for the best.
Cool. Gwen is gonna start shouting, where's the hag? Where's that bitch?
Okay.
Just to the sky. Taunting her, telling her to come out.
Okay. And Corey and Arjan, you follow Gwen into this town. You also see all of these halflings just sort of scatter and run as far as they can away from where you guys are. Especially with Gwen making as much noise as she is, they are rightly terrified at this point. And the two of you make a perception check. Arjan, you will get Blood Hunter bullshit with this.
13.
Five.
Okay.
Double threes.
Yuck. So, Arjan, you have the weight of your friend on your shoulder. And you are carrying this. Not just emotionally, but physically. You are the one who is carrying Calum. And trying to find out where the hag is, as far as you're concerned, she's gone. She's left. You killed her sisters. She might come back later, but if she wanted to kill you, she would have done so already. And Corey, as you look around, you notice that all of these huts that you had seen lights in before are without light. And you see one of them has what looks to be less snow in front of it than the others. And you can see that there is a small trail of smoke that seems to be coming inside of that particular one. And looking in, you see that this hut has been just rifled through in a very, very quick amount of time. It seems like the hag took the majority of her things and then bolted.
Corey's going to kind of examine that and just say, Gwen, she's gone.
Gwen is going to go into a rage and start destroying the houses.
Okay. So you are going to make some... you're going to be destroying these houses. Arjan, what are you and Corey doing while Gwen is going about in a fit of rage?
Are we going like in the huts?
You can if you want to.
I would like to.
Okay. So you go into one of these huts, and you can see that this hut was still set up as though the person who was living here was planning on coming back. Whereas the one hut that you had peeked into was completely disheveled and destroyed. It seems like this one was well kept enough. Make a investigation check.
15.
Okay, so with a 15, you end up finding a letter that is written on what appears to be very, very old stationery. And it's kind of folded open, and it's written in a language that you have seen in passing, but you don't know yourself. And you recognize it as Sylvan.
Hand it to Corey.
Joel, read it.
And Corey, as you read it, it says, "There is still a chance for you yet, daughter of mine. Coldwind now, is it? The side you have chosen is that of folly, and when they come for you, just as they did the sister of Driftwood, you will wish you had heard my offer. You cannot oppose the land itself, daughter of mine."
Corey will translate it for those who are listening, i.e. Arjan. I think this is the same person.
They will come for you. She'll come out us.
Perhaps. That's what it seems. There's the implication here seems to be that there's a alpha hag, one that's in charge of the rest of them. This mother,
Like a great grandmother.
a matriarch. Corey kind of folds that up and will put it away.
Whenever we were in the Holiday Nexus, we found what's her face's spell book, and it had an animate dead spell. Does Arjan see any arcane stuff in the hag dens?
There is a jar that is marked healing bees. You can see that there is a plate that looks like it has an etching of a thundercloud on it. But as far as anything necromantic, the closest thing that you are finding are scrying bones. Corey, make an investigation check.
I think that's gonna be a 6.
Okay.
That's a 6.
Yeah, Corey, you don't notice anything moving through this area. Arjan, also make a investigation check.
15 again.
Okay, so with your 15, you end up finding between several of the huts the writings and basically arcane sigildry that describes being able to siphon the raw power of winter through the waystone. It doesn't seem like they were necessarily bringing forth a Fey winter. It seems like they were amplifying the powers of winter that were already here.
Can Arjan just like defile that?
Oh, for sure. 110% you can. And yeah, Gwen.
I'm sure Gwen's rage ends at this point because it only lasts a minute. She's gonna fall to her knees and her axe kind of falls from her hand and she just starts talking to Grayskull. And she's, can you see him? Can you see him in the spirit realm?
And Grayskull sits down next to you and kind of squats. And you feel a large hand rubbing your back. And he says, I can't see every dead person. It's just Goliaths. We've been through this.
What can I do?
You can honor the fallen.
Why did they get to come back?
I don't know. I didn't get to come back.
But you're with me.
Well, maybe that's what's going to happen to your friend. He'll get to be with someone soon.
But I want him back.
I know you do. And if there was anything I could do, I would. But the only thing I have for you is words, and I'm honestly not that good at those.
Could Chua bring him back?
She might be able to. But our warriors who are brought back that way, it's not permanent. It'd be fleeting.
I was supposed to protect him.
And you did.
Not well enough.
Hey. Hey. You risked your life. Plenty of times. And you did great. You've always got your friends back. Everyone knows this. You're the tiny terror. Go ahead, stop foot. You're the best friend I know.
But I want him back.
I know. I know short stuff. It is at
She
this
just kind of. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it is at this point that night is beginning to fall.
Gwen just has her face in her hands.
Corey and Arjan, what have you done with Caleb? I'm assuming that you're not still carrying him around.
I would have just sat him up against like one of the huts whenever we went inside.
Okay. And the two of you know that it is becoming nightfall at this point.
What should we do?
I think that he would want proper burial.
All right.
Give me a little time. I'll spend the night doing some research. I'll see what followers of Saloon prefer.
Indoor, the hags got a lot of witchy stuff. They got a shovel.
They for sure have a shovel.
Cool.
They have 3 shovels to be exact.
Well, I will take the one.
Okay.
And start digging 6 feet.
Okay. Caleb, what were the last thoughts that were on your mind as you were battling these hags and you saw them casting this frosted magic down upon you?
It was probably, are they going to be okay?
And it is at that point that your vision goes black. Everything gets cold. And you lose yourself. The cold and ice feeling of everything around you seemed to slow down in this moment. And as you think to yourself, are they going to be okay? You find yourself drifting. And in a way, it's like when you've dreamt before, like when you've meditated. You're just falling. You're a part of a nothing. And then you feel a presence beneath you, and you find yourself standing in a room, and along the walls are what look to be incredibly smooth pillars that stretch from the ground up to the ceiling. And in front of you, inside of an intricate looking archway with the top frame looking like an embossed set of wings with a corvid skull facing downward, is where you find yourself.
How is the place lit? Is it...
There are amethyst colored flames that are just lit and hanging in the air. They aren't contained by any kind of brazier or sconce. They are just flames that seem to be held aloft by some sort of invisible force.
Calum will look down at his hands, kind of flex them. Do I have feeling there, or is it just nothing?
You do have feeling.
He'll start walking towards the doorway.
As you begin to walk, you take a step with your right foot, and the flames flicker, and the room becomes a solid color of red. And you see that there are 4 different humanoid figures, all wearing very flowing black robes that have silvered accents upon them, wearing these gaunt masks of ivory with the elven word for death inscribed upon them. As your left foot touches the ground, the room changes to a blue color, and you sense a looming presence behind you. As you take another step with your right foot, you see that these figures wearing their masks have changed their stance. They've moved in between this step and the last, but in much too quick of a way for it to seem natural. As you take a left step again, you feel like there is something watching you, something that's approaching. And as you continue to walk, you watch as these figures begin to dance and move in a broken manner. As your pace quickens, you can see more and more of a fluid kind of movement with them. And as you continue walking in the blue room, this large figure continues to come towards you, and you see the shape of what appears to be an elven skeleton, massive in size with scythe-like fingers stretching out towards you, never moving, but drawing ever closer. In a brief second, your mind wanders to your list of spells for a solution to the problem that you see flashing before you at every step. And you draw your hand back, ready to cast your signature guiding bolt, and that is when you come to the understanding that you are in even more dire situation than you realized. The weave's presence is absent, and in your chest you feel the harrowing sensation of emptiness. You begin running, and the shapes and the figures seem to come to life, their movement becoming more fluid with each shift of red and blue, and the macabre figures seem to be dancing in their forms with each footfall as the skeletal form begins to descend from the shadows. Your feet never stop moving as you try desperately to outrun these impossibly sharp claws, yet they find you, and you feel like they would always find you. These hands were never meant to hold. They were meant to tear. And the searing pain that you feel in your back is a reminder of this as the claws cut into you, sending a shower of crimson across the blackness in front of you, splashing against the void. But your eyes follow the streaks as they become rivers along ashen banks against a sky filled to the brim with emptiness. The only thing stronger than your heartbeat is the sound of roaring water coming from down the forward-facing path. Leafless birch trees with withered skyward branches litter the landscape as far as you can see, and with no better sense of your bearings, you begin to follow the sound of roaring water. As you arrive to the sound, you find yourself on the ledge of a sheer drop leading down to an impossible distance to a lake that surface knows no depth. Yet you can see where the Crimson River empties itself far, far below. Your gaze can't help but be drawn deeper in, and you don't even feel yourself careening forwards. As you fall, you realize that there isn't any wind resistance. It's almost like the world around you is falling upwards while you stay in place. The surface is warmer than you would imagine, and as you pass through the surface, you see a figure mirroring yours falling in reverse with the rest of the world as you continue to sink down. Where your form is gray and ashen, theirs is of vibrant blues and luminescent whites, and for a moment you lock eyes, and in those eyes you see a sadness beyond their years. But with that sadness, acceptance. This was the way it was to be. You continue sinking further into this pool, and you can feel your senses leaving you, but you can still make out pockets of light in the darkness. It seems so frivolous now, this light. The darkness has come to accept you, and it is so warm, so comforting, so free from the anxiety that you felt had rested heavy upon your chest since you could remember. To see aspects of this light reaching towards you with open arms seems almost more terrifying than to lay further down in this immeasurable darkness. You feel yourself being pulled by this light, and as your remaining form meets this minute brilliance, you feel the breaking of surface tension, and you are pulled above the surface. To regain so many of your senses at once is overwhelming, and you struggle to find the strength to even open your eyes. It's bright here, too bright. The wind is too loud as it gently caresses your skin, drying your hair and clothing, and you reach out frantically with a hand, trying to find your bearings, and as your fingers weave themselves through the soft grass beneath you, they find a hand gentle, warm, and compassionate, reaching towards you. I was afraid that I would not spot you in the flows. Are you all right?
Calum coughs and sputters, and he looks up to whoever this is.
And as you look up, your eyes adjust to this new place of vibrance. You notice willow trees full of white and blue leaves, and the grass beneath you a comforting auburn hue. And then you notice the figure. Hair as black as raven feathers, befit with silvered strands of age, and features not unlike your own, but more defined. The jaw is a bit more angled, the nose a tad more hooked, and the creases beneath the corners of their eyes that belay a life spent with a smile. And it is smiling. And it is smiling towards you. I never thought I would see you again. And they wrap their arms around you, and you feel your mind taken away. Farther than Corey and Arjan and Cybra and Gwen, farther than the back of Farron's cart, farther than the temple to Saloon. Within these arms, there is nothing to fear or run from. This is a safe harbor on the tumultuous sea. This is home. And a hand that feels like a warmed hearth on a cold winter's day begins to run its fingers through your hair as you hear rumblings from deep within this figure's chest as the words break the silence that had befallen the world outside of the passage of the flows beneath you. My beautiful boy, what have they done to you?
I'm sorry, what?
And the figure leans back, and you see that there are tears brimming in their eyes. And this smile is trying so hard to keep itself. And they look towards you again and just give you a hug.
Kind of not knowing what to do, he'll put his arms around this man and pat him gently.
And the figure comes back and releases you and stands to his feet and offers you a hand as well. And you can see that their stance is not unlike your own. The way that they carry themselves seems almost mirror-esque.
I'm sorry, but who are you? He taps his body, check for wounds.
There are no wounds. Your leg is as it should be. And he looks down at you and he says, I'm Kaharik. And he motions to try and pull you up.
He will take the hand and stand. Where am I?
You are in the in-between. You are in the flows, and I was able to grab you. To put it simply, you died. And when people like us die, we find ourselves going, well, we return to the gloom. I made this place years and years and years ago. This is a place where she cannot find me. Right within her domain. But just ever so on the outskirts. And Calum, as you peek around, you notice that the land in front of you has various holes and pools that all connect to this depthless liquid that all seems to be flowing in one direction underneath the area where you stand.
So you made a pocket dimension in the Shadowfell to duck the Raven Queen.
Nods.
Okay. He will sit back down to process everything. I died. Huh.
And he nods. And then we'll sit down next to you.
I need to go back.
I know. I know. And you will. You learn a lot watching the flow. Being able to look down into the direct in-between. The reason we pulled you aside, that I pulled you aside, this is part of the route, but not. The Raven Queen is in charge of the dying. That is true. And you are in the process of being so, but we are not technically outside of her realm. But we are. In this place.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be nonplussed about this, but I really don't know what to say in this situation. I've never died before.
Good. Because if you had, that means that I would have missed you.
Oh, okay. Well,
But if this is your first time, then there's still hope yet.
so what now? I'm in the process of dying?
I have to keep you here. until we figure out what to do. Because I can't have you continue the way that things are going if you hop back into the flow. Caleb, or sorry, he doesn't know that name. Nope. Avebin. I came to this place as a precaution. When Shadar Kai died, we all returned to the Queen. But that was not always the case. Shadar Kai were once regular elves. We were normal. Well, as normal as elves can be. During the event that led us here, we became her chosen people. And when we would die and come back, we would lose our memories of the lives we had before, remembering only what it was like to be a Shadar Kai. There are those... When a Shadar Kai is born, the Nevalar wish only to know who has found their way to the Raven Mother, or if they are dreamless. When we meditate onto our past, we think about past lives, but dreamless are new Shadar Kai. This is their first run. And the last recorded dreamless were hundreds of years before my time. So when it became apparent that you were dreamless, we had to protect you. Your mother gave her life so we could send you to Chorus Aird. The one place where we felt like her power couldn't reach you. But it seems like that wasn't far enough away. If you are in the flows, that means that she's found you again. That means that somewhere along the way she found you and realized who you were. She wants you to return to forget the life that knows the secret she desires. The secret to cure her sundered form lies in your hands, Yttalarian. And once it has been found, perhaps I may finally return to the gloom to find out what become of my Liadon, Galanadel.
But what would be so wrong to fixing her? Would it mean losing Amaris?
Who is Amaris?
Oh, well, and he'll take some time explaining where he was sent, what happened during that time, what happened with Saloon, and the girl in the shield.
And Kaharik nods. And he looks at you and says, to fix her isn't the bad option. But there are two Raven Queens that exist side by side. There's the one that your friend has met, the one who births the Shadar Kai, and there's the Queen. the ones that the first of the Shadarkai knew. They are one and the same.
Oh. She's fractured. Got it.
To remove the process for the cure would ensure that the fractured one would be victorious.
So we have to make her whole again without basically losing the secret to the evil one. Okay. Here's a plan. How long do I have to stay here? I need to get back.
And Kaharik looks towards you, and the smile that he has fades, and he says, "That I do not know." And that is where we are going to shift back to the rest of the party. She's on her way back. It's okay. So, Arjan, you have been digging this grave. Gwen, you have been being consoled by Grayskull. Is there anything else that you would like to have been doing during this time?
I think Gwen's gonna busy herself with finding them a spot to sleep for the night. Probably in one of the huts. Right, there's not like buildings around here.
Not really. You know that there is you're near enough to a halfling villa that in enough time you would be able to actually get there, clear out a spot, and then come back. The only issue being Arjan's large size going into halfling homes. It seems very difficult for him. But I mean, you're not opposed to doing any sudden renovations on homes that you don't live in, so really depends.
I think if he's shoveling here, Gwen will just drag Calum's body into one of the huts that they can sleep in. And she'll kind of just sit there and stare at him.
Okay. Sounds good. Make a survival check, and you all can as well.
Seven.
22.
And Corey, what'd you get?
I got 15.
Okay. So Corey and Gwen, the two of you noticed this. Arjan, you are too focused on just digging this hole right now. The physical motion is really helping get your mind off of this. But Gwen and Corey, you both notice that there is something slightly jarring about this night sky. And as you look up, you realize that it is a full moon. But the last time you remember seeing the moon, it was nowhere near as close to this as it should have been. And you come to realize that you have no frame of time reference for how long you were actually inside of Solcaris' chamber.
Oh, damn.
Gwen, as you are moving Calum and getting him a comfortable place, Corey, the shield upon your back begins to glow. And you see a small glowing form emerge from the shield. And with a light crunching noise of snow beneath their feet, you see that this figure has their back towards you, and they are looking at the hut that Gwen moved Calum into. And they begin walking.
Corey follows.
And Corey, as you begin to follow, you see that there are silvered flames that seem to be just flittering off of your body, and they separate enough and grow large enough that they actually turn into the dancing lights humanoid that you are able to create with your moon form, and you recognize this figure to be the figure of Oliviette. And she is walking alongside you.
I want to reach out and hold hands with her if I can.
You do. And Gwen, you see through this open door this small glowing figure, childlike in size, standing in the doorway of this hut.
She's gonna like kind of stand up and look at her and then look at Calum, and she'll kind of fiddle with her braid and just I'm sorry. He didn't make it. I couldn't protect him.
Corey, the shield on your back is becoming ice cold, chilled to the point of uncomfort. As this figure takes...
Sorry. God, every time. She's going to take the shield off her back and just hold it and try to warm it.
And as this figure takes 2 small steps forward, they then rush forward. And you see that this figure puts their head down onto Calum's chest, and puts their 2 arms onto the chest as well. And you see the fingers clench. And Corey, as you look down at the shield, you see the frosted texture appear on the cover, and you see the word no written out. And you see one of her hands rise and fall and strikes against Calum's chest, but there is no pressure of him getting hit. There is no sound of slapping. But as the hand strikes again, you see on the shield as well, not obeying any kind of linear pattern, no. No, 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 as her hands continue to just strike up and down against Calum until that frosted texture completely disappears from the sheer amount of no's that have been written. And then you see the arms stop moving, and she crawls up onto the table and lies up against him, and you can see that her shoulders are shaking. And on the shield, you see the frosting again. And in the smallest possible print, written with a clearly shaking hand, you see the phrase, "Please come back. Please." Calum, as you and Kaharik are sitting amongst the willows, the sound of the flow rushing beneath you, you hear a sound. It is the sound of wings. And typically when you hear the sound of these wings, you expect to see some sort of corvid. But silently, from flutter to silence to flutter again, you see what appears to be a barn owl made of pure light. And it lands on a branch in one of the nearby willow trees. And Kaharik looks up, and then he looks towards you. And after you having told him your story, he says, "If this is all that I am allowed, then so be it. But Calum, I am proud of you beyond words, and know that the love I feel for you runs deeper than that which flows beneath us. I believe in you. I always have, and I always will." And as he says that, he looks up towards the luminescent owl, and he says, "Thank you for keeping him safe." And that the owl swoops down towards you and lands on your shoulder and crooks its head and then just begins cooing as it presses its head up against yours. And as it does, the vibrance of this owl continues to grow until the entire area around you is shrouded in light.
As a final interaction, he will turn to Kahark and give him a smile. "I'm gonna do my best, Father."
And he says, "You will shine brighter than any star." And with that, the room goes white. Gwen, you are watching this small form bundle up next to Calum, and you see them sit up, and they set a hand against Calum's cheek. And you can see that on his chest, there are droplets. There are tears. And these tears begin to almost dissolve, like they are being absorbed into Calum. Corey, as you look down at the shield, you see the frost fill in the lines that were part of the 7 stars of Saloon. And the 2 eyes that are there seem to tilt, and the face on the shield becomes that of a barn owl and begins to glow. As the shield begins to glow, Calum, you begin to glow as well. And Corey, the hand holding yours squeezes you, and you can feel a sensation of it's a full thought that comes through. It's not just emotions. And it's more important for you to still be a maiden than it is for me. And you watch as the silvered flames of Oliviette flicker, and they wrap themselves around Calum, and they seem to draw inwards, and you hear the sound of breath.
Or what the fuck?
God.
Calum. you breathe in chill winter air. It is slightly stuffy, and you can feel the warmth of a small form hugging your side, and you aren't sure if it's Gwen being weird or possibly Cybra, and when you look down, you can see Amaris.
I think his reaction initially is to move his hand to check if it's either Gwen or Cybra. It's like, okay, this is humanoid. Then he looks down.
Calum?
Hey.
Arjan!
Oh, Arjan, you can for sure hear this. Gwen is the loudest thing for miles.
How far down am I?
Make a survival check. How good are you at digging graves, boy?
5.
You're
I'm
not
5
very
good.
good at digging graves, boy. There was a part where you were like,
frozen.
the earth is frozen, and there was also a brief moment where you were like, wait, was it 6 feet wide?
Look, this is why blood hunters, this is why they do funeral pyres. Like,
Easy. It's easy to light a body
more
on fire.
efficient.
Yes.
So yeah, he'll just like crawl, like run out.
Okay. It wasn't very deep, so it doesn't take much for you to crawl out. But you see that from where Gwen is yelling, a child-sized light source that you recognize at this point to be Amaris. You see that Gwen is losing her shit, but in a way that signifies something good has happened. But you wouldn't know it looking at Corey's face.
What? Did you say something?
He just under his breath said Calum.
Hi.
Oh my... Oh my god, he did it! Guys! What happened? What'd you do?
Ori's just standing like a fair distance away from Calum. She's got the shield just like held across her chest. And like literally just like streams of tears coming down her face, and she will run across the room and throw her arm around Calum's neck.
Gwen joins the pile.
I
Caleb,
died.
you have 4 levels of exhaustion.
Great. God. Ow, guys, this really hurts.
Oh, sorry.
Corey, Arjan, dying sucks.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does, Caleb.
Can we not do that again?
Yes!
Uh,
Gwen's like fixing his hair, like brushing his hair with her fingers.
what? Ruh-roh. I can't fix Calum's HP pool right now.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
I'm going to
You were at 1.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
I'm gonna hit this boy with a divine sense real quick, just to be sure.
Oh, God.
You don't notice anything that wasn't already there.
Oh, good.
Caleb,
I
as far as your memories of what you had while you were deceased, you remember a singular hug that you felt.
What the fuck?
great.
Give this boy his daddy. He needs a daddy.
He's got 3!
He needs
He
this
needs a
daddy.
good one, okay?
4 if you count Pink Dad.
Hey, you can collect gods, I can collect dads.
Daddy Mon?
Careful.
You don't
Careful.
want to get demonetized here.
Daddy. All right. Corey's just giving him like a once over, just like trying to make sure that he's not, fucking undead. Because that would be the worst. Was she there? Did you see her? How did you get back?
Don't remember. I remember seeing the hags, and then it was black. I remember someone hugging me afterwards, but I guess that was you guys. I don't know how I got back.
Was it Artemis?
Who?
The shield chick.
Amaris.
Whatever. Was it her?
I look down to her.
She has. Somebody is hammering. She has. Whereas before you had seen that there was. That it was primarily light. That she was almost like a dancing lights figure. Her form has more defined features. Like you can see the outline of what appears to be a hood that covers the majority of a small child's face. And you can see that the sleeves on her robe seem to have a feather-like pattern leading down to the bottom. And it is just this one large sweater dress.
Caleb's gonna turn on whatever they set him down on and put Amaris in his lap. I don't know.
And she leans her head against your chest, and you actually feel her shoulders rising and falling as it seems like she has tuckered herself out and fallen asleep against you.
That's different. We'll figure that out later. And you'll just like pet her head.
Oliviette's form is gone now.
That is
right?
correct.
Corey's just kind of looking down at Amaris. And she's like working out exactly what just happened. And she chooses not to tell Caleb.
All right.
How dare you?
And as Caleb, you are petting the sleeping princess of owls, and Corey, you are debating on whether or not to tell Caleb about what has happened with Oliviette. That is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful indoor adventure. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/merch indoor and pick up some Todd stuff. Todd is a character that was created by our dear friend, Bonus Stage Rob, who's in the chat right now, yelling at me pretty dang hard. So consider joining our Discord. It's a fun time for fun people, but we're going to go into our break, so we shall see you soon. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Oh, no. Oh, no, they're T-posing aggressively at me. I deserve this. I deserve this. Oh, shit, they're getting closer! So, last we left off, Caleb, you have returned. Our dear, sweet Amaris is asleep in your arms, and your party is looking upon you.
Everything hurts.
Yeah. I think we should go to bed.
Yeah.
I'll keep watch.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's sleepy time for Calum.
Corey will spend the night watching over him, just holding on to the shield.
And Calum, as you fall asleep, and Amaris has fallen asleep as well, you watch Corey as her form seems to dissipate and then recede back into the shield. And after she does, it looks like the front of the shield is back to being the symbol of Saloon. All right. So,
Silence for the whole night.
Calum, while you sleep, you remember bits and pieces of that in between. You don't remember everything that happened, but you are able to focus on it. And you remember seeing the face of your father. And you remember seeing his mouth move, but you don't remember the words that came with it.
Do I remember that he is my father, or is it just like there is this elven man who looks kind of like me?
You know. In the same way where if a animal has not seen their people in years, they still immediately know who they are. You don't have to even think about this.
If it's just a dream sequence, he will just let it play out.
Okay. And the lot of you are taking watches? No?
Nope.
Gwen says nope.
Gwen is staying up all night.
Okay. As is protocol.
Archon's been digging a grave and is also very bloodied, so he's not staying up.
Okay. So Arjan goes sleepies as well.
I think Corey stays up with the intention, or like, it watches over Calum with like the intention of staying awake, but morning comes and she realizes that she's been trancing.
Okay. Gwen, make a Constitution save.
Thanks, Zoom, for letting me know. This is at advantage.
For staying
it
up
all
all night?
Yes. No. Right, this isn't a poison effect,
No.
so yeah. It's 2 19s tonight.
Oh shit. Yeah.
24.
No, you are very used to this. And when you wake up, when the lot of you wake up, the oppressive gray coloring that was the sky prior has dissipated. It is a clear blue sky with an eager spring sun that is beginning to melt the snows of Greenreach. And as you look around now that you can see, and it's a little difficult to actually get a good look, but you can see buildings off in the distance. You recognize those, Gwen, to be the villa. You recognize that there are small townships and little thorps that you can see littered around Greenreach that were otherwise hidden within the snow itself. You don't see any people, but you do see where footsteps were of people having come and gone, but they don't look fresh.
You want to see if we can get breakfast?
Breakfast would sound, well, it sounds very good right now.
All right. Gwen is Gwen is going to roll down the sleeves of her cold winter clothing outfit to cover her tattoos and make sure her shirt. Well, I'm sure that she's not wearing a crop top in the winter, but per the usual, she's gonna part her hair on the other side and let it flow down so there's not the shave side. And she's gonna take the snow and rub it on her face so she's like cleaning herself off a little bit, and kind of tucks away most of the like really scary looking stuff. Not that she really can because she's got big weapons on her, but she's like, all right, come on, follow me. And I'm gonna lead them to the villa and see if there's not like an inn out this way, right? What?
You said that there is not an inn out this way.
Is
Like-
there an inn out
Oh,
this
okay,
way?
cool. Sorry,
Sorry.
there was like
Is
this
there
like
an In-N-Out
mental
out here?
parsing. I was like, what?
Guys, I really want Whataburger.
So, you know, Gwen, that there is another small brewery that is out this way, or at least was out this way last time you checked in, and it is the Three Rivers Brewing Company.
It's a place near me. Okay. Gwen's gonna take them there.
As they're walking, Caleb will fall in step with Corey, and he'll say to her, I didn't go to her when I died.
Do you know that for sure?
I'm not sure, but I met my father.
Just stops. Your father?
The biological person who provided the chromosomes necessary for me to be ta-da.
That doesn't make any sense. Do all Shadakai go to their father when they die?
Shrugs. I've never met one, so I can't ask. I've
Well,
met a
technically
few,
you've
but
met
they didn't.
one.
I've met a few, but they didn't seem to be the talking sword, okay, Coriander?
It's very interesting. I never considered we might meet your father one day. Do you know where to find him?
No,
What kind of person is he?
not a Dak. He was kind.
She gets a far off look in her eyes and she's like, oh, I need to see if I have a letter from my father. Oh, it was not going to be a fun letter to write to tell him that you had passed away.
Oh, yeah, that's a great icebreaker. Hey, Dad, remember that leg you were making for my friend? Don't need it anymore.
I think he's grown
Dead.
rather fond of you. That would have torn him up.
Speaking of legs.
Oh,
Caleb,
shoot. Fuck.
Hi.
God damn it.
when you had died,
Uh-huh.
the connection that your plant leggy had ceased as its source of nutrients had died, and it decayed and parted itself from you. When
I
you
am-
were reborn, when you were brought back via Amaris, your leggy came back.
Guys,
Everybody-
we got one.
Everybody, please mark down this episode as the one where Endor did not take a leg away, but gave one back. Well, no, he still took a leg away. His net gain is 0 legs.
He did
Plus
take
minus
the bean-
0 leg.
He did take the bean leg. All right, so I'm just gonna write it down. This is how I get my arm back. Die. See my dad.
I think
come back.
But wait, didn't you die since you lost your arm?
Fuck.
you could probably skip out the death portion and just go see your dad.
I'm gonna have to wait until I become a Shatterkai and then die.
You stop that.
Sorry, we got
Sidebarred.
sidebarred.
Well, it's a good thing I've kept this shoe all this time.
Gwen's in the back, by the way. She's watching over everyone. Yeah, just turn up here to the left. Uh-huh.
Gwen, you're supposed to be like leading us, right? Because we don't know this area.
Yeah, I'm leading you from the back. I'm topping from the bottom, okay?
I get that reference.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go spring form.
Wait, what?
Okay. Make a wisdom save.
Oh shit! I still have
Our
to do
bottoms,
that.
right?
10.
You attempt to change
But
it
I'm
into
so
your spring
happy
form,
that Caleb's back.
and you focus on it, and you know that it's there,
You okay?
but it feels like there is some sort of barrier that is preventing you from changing out of your raven form.
Keep that to myself.
So yeah, Gwen, you are leading them to the Three Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And once you arrive, you can see that there are a few halflings that look like they are in better sorts than the other ones that are kind of poking around. They are like peeking outside of doors and windows and then shutting them really quick. And you see one of them looks at you and looks at the lot of you. Just,
Hello, my name is Guinevere Proudfoot of the Proudfoot family, and I have come back to free these lands of winter. I have done so. I am hungry. Can I please have something to eat? We will pay.
and
I don't like
figure
that.
Shiloh Farfield.
Hello, sir.
You have you? Were the hags gone?
Yes, they are, sir.
What happened to them?
We killed them and sent them back to the Feywild, whence they came.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Turns to Arjan and Corey. All right, this isn't right, but also, do we have to worry about the Waystone?
No, her name is Guinevere.
Philip shouted at the top of his lungs.
Oh shoot.
You
Sorry,
did-
a
you
lot has
absolutely
happened
do
since
that.
then. I've been
15.
I've been very distracted. You died.
Ah.
So with the 15, Shiloh Farfield stops, and he seems to look at you, and he registers what you're saying, and he realizes it's truth, and you watch an insurmountable weight be lifted from his shoulders as he stands at his full halfling form again. Not very tall by many standards, but Gwen, you know that there is a sense of joy welling up inside of this individual, and he says, if what you say is true, then yes, 1,000 times yes, you can of course eat for free at our tavern. I'm the proprietor. It's The Three Rivers. Best in the villa.
So I have heard.
Thank you. Thank you. And he rushes over, and Gwen, he grabs both of your hands and starts
Okay.
shaking them violently. Just, thank you.
She lets him do it for all of like 5 seconds and then just slips her hands out and she like claps him on the shoulder. It is nothing, citizen. Please, we have been traveling in the snow and we are very cold
And
and hungry.
he nods yes, and then takes you to the brewery. And inside, seeing Arjan as you being a tall, rather large boy by halfling standards, the loading docks of these breweries are getting very familiar to you as they are the most open areas. But they, this figure, Shiloh, sets up a kind of makeshift table and says that I'm going to see if I can find any food lying around that's still good. I checked earlier, and we do have some beer from the winters past. I'll bring some out to you. I can't believe they're gone. Thank you. And he just disappears into the brewery.
So, where to next? Do we have to close a waystone or something?
Well, Plum did say that Cypress isn't intending to come into the natural plane until after he's taken over the rest of the year's wheel. So the Feywild is in more danger than this place is, at least in terms of Cypress. But there are other dangerous Fey, like the hags.
But like were they doing the winter thing, or well, I don't understand.
It seems to be the case because look, she just kind of gestures out the window at the sunny sky. Spring is coming again, and I 100% believe it's because we've driven out the hags.
I just want to point out there that if Cypress does want to freeze the year's wheel in the Feywild, and that winter is, well, already there, I think we should close the Waystone, because more dangerous creatures could flow out.
It would probably be safest to close it.
Do we have to destroy it?
Oh, I don't know.
Do we know of any other way to close it?
No. I mean, I don't.
3 sent Damien to close that other waystone, and it absolutely destroyed it.
Well,
I don't know anything about these sorts of magics, but I get the feeling that if there were a non-destructive solution to this, they would have used it. At least I hope they would.
I can try looking into it tonight. For now, we should probably rest.
It's a good idea.
Okay. I mean, I should probably get word out to the rest of the halflings that the threats are gone for the most part that we know of. The threats that we know of are gone.
Ooh, what about all the halflings that kind of turned into...
They seem to have turned back,
Oh,
which is good and bad because we did kill some of them.
it's fine. Just don't say we did it. Say
Okay.
hags did it.
Is there a postal system? Is there some sort of courier
You know, Gwen, that before there were pony riders, just
Mhm.
small horse riders that would deliver mail throughout Greenreach.
Gwen, when he comes back with the beer, Gwen will tell him to just make sure that the rest of the Greenreach knows that the hags have been dealt with and the dragons are gone and that Tree is dealt with as well.
You don't even have to tell him. At this point, when he comes back, you hear a sound of wood rolling against wood. And from a hallway, you see him pushing a keg. And from behind him, you see another halfling pushing a wooden cask. Another halfling pushing a wooden cask. And you watch as this small parade of halflings presents what little food they have in that managed to stay the winter, and they freely give it to all three of you. Gwen,
Oh, man.
you are the only one who speaks halfling,
Yeah.
so looking at these casks before they are even revealed as to what their names could be, you see three names, one on each individual cask, each one labeled with the Three Rivers Brewing Company. The first is the Three Rivers Festive Ale. The second is Farfield's Tea. And the third is labeled Stone Drop Stout.
Oh my god. Gwen composes herself for a second. This is too much. I think this might be too much. Is this too much?
And that is when Shiloh lets you all know that they have three different styles of beer that are available for the four of you. They have a red ale, they have a wit beer, and then they have a stout. And he will reveal the names to all four of you as well, explaining this is the Three Rivers Festive Ale, this is Farfield's Tea, and this last one is the Stone Drop Stout.
Don't drop stout. That rings a bell.
Guess I'll try the Three Rivers.
Yeah, isn't that the one that I lost? Corey.
No. You
Don't drop
lost.
stout was session 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, what's session one?
Oh my god, it was. That was like a year ago.
That was quite
That
a
was
while
over
ago.
a year ago.
It
Uh-huh.
did sound quite familiar.
Yeah.
Corey will have the.
But none of us
facts
had
now.
that. None of us had the stone drop.
It was
No,
it
we
was
didn't.
laced with catnap is the thing. Nobody tried it.
Can we? Oh shit. Guys, can we check and see, make sure this is not laced with anything? God, that was a long time ago. We never dealt with that, did we?
We did.
Did we?
Kinda.
Yeah, we
I
fought
mean,
those
we-
guys.
We
They were
took
working
care.
for the cheese.
Yeah, we took care of the
Okay.
cheese.
But didn't they get the catnap from somewhere up here?
Oh shit.
And we didn't follow that up.
God. What does this mean? Where
It's
was
a callback.
God, no, it was from somewhere in Greenreach, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But wasn't the catnap, DM apologies, wasn't the catnap from like the burning forest or whatever?
I thought the stout was.
Make a history check.
Oh god.
You can all
Everybody-
make history checks if you would like.
So concerned.
9.
8.
13.
8.
Should not have given them a
I'm not
dice.
supposed to be good at these. How did I get the highest one?
So the three of you are basically having the same conversation that you are currently having. Be like, no, it was in the forest. I thought we dealt with it already. Corey, what you remember from the dossier was that the fertilizer for that was used for the creation or that was used for fertilizing the apricot fields in Greenreach was taken from the Hollowed Lock ruins. The apricots were the fruit accent that was added to the Stone Drop Ale or to the Stone Drop Stout. As far as feeling like you had checked it off of your list, That was something that you guys never officially closed out.
Corey will say as much.
I thought the catnap came from the big cheese. That was the whole point.
As far as the catnap, Corey, you do remember that that was applied locally.
Cool. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up.
And we definitely did go to the Hollow ruins because, that's where I died for the second time.
You've died several places, Zarshan.
Yeah, that's why I was so upset, guys.
Gwen, you ever hear of something called Survivor's Guild?
No?
You're the first person I've ever met who has ever inflicted it on someone else.
Is that bad? Was that bad?
Kind of.
Look, I'm sorry. It was a lot, okay?
Makes you feel any better? I don't think I'm going to be able to do that again.
Me
I'm-
neither.
The cats were running around. What did you say?
If it makes you feel any better, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that again.
Oh, yeah. Wait, why?
My patron's gone.
We know this, right? This is something we know. Can you guys hear them?
Yeah.
They go,
I'm in
thump,
a
they go
blast.
thump thump.
So,
Let's
what's the plan?
What is our
Close-
plan?
Close the waystone. Immediately, I think I should probably get some correspondence with my father. It's been a while since I've talked to him. Arjan, you have that writ that we need to go and collect money on. So, in order, I see if I have a letter from my father. We close the waystone, and then we head in that direction.
We should probably make sure that that last tag is dead, Zoe. Or not on this plane anymore. Can you track her, Arjan?
She's faster than we are. If she
Well,
wanted
if-
to escape, she's done it already.
Well, we need to know that she's escaped and not still here lurking.
Okay.
I'll explain. I'll also take out that letter because Caleb also missed this, and I'll explain the letter that I got regarding the hags, and our theory on there being a hag matriarch.
It all comes back down to Moonstier Manor, I guess.
Do you think that's where they are?
Well, if they're saying to gather there, yeah. At worst, it's probably just a huge coven.
Where's the next place that we're going to stay in one place for a while? Because then we can use that map that we've made, the cross reference.
So Chelia, I think.
All right. Then I suppose we'll spend some time in Sirtzelia and figure that out. Oh, Corey gets out her crow's corvid skull. You said it was pointing west.
It is pointing west at this point, and it is glowing yellow.
What is west?
That's where Isn't that where the Titan
where-
skull is?
That is where Sir Tellier is.
Yeah.
There's
Wait,
also
west of Greenreach?
East. Sorry.
I thought you said
Yes.
west.
West. You have it set to W for Wumbo.
So it is
Yes,
pointing
it's
towards
to the
towards Sir.
east.
Okay. I was like,
Anemone.
oh, that sucks. We have to go towards the Titan skull. Yes. So
What I want to know is, the Raven Queen said that this was going to teach me how to tame the primordial fae. And while I do have my spring form back, I'm not entirely certain what I was supposed to learn there.
Well, what'd you learn about the hags? Like, they're Fae, right?
I
Maybe you're supposed to take
suppose, but-
something from each battle.
I mean, Spring was trapped inside of a tree.
That's true. Oh. What was... Because Fig was, like... Fig was, like, possessed, right? By what? He was possessed by
The tree.
the tree, which was...
Okay.
Right? So maybe... How did that Fae get here?
Through the portal, it was carried by a bird given to Fig.
And what was his motivation?
Because it told him to.
Who?
The seed told.
No.
Plum.
What was the seed's motivation?
Soul wanted everyone to accept their inevitable fate.
Right. And he went against the Cypress dude, right? Because Cypress wanted to do him to do something and he didn't. But you were able to tame it, right? Quinn's like, am I on the right path here? She's just like making bullet points that don't really correlate.
Caleb turns to Corey and just goes, maybe you just have to beat the crap out of them.
Yes.
That's what I was going to do to begin with.
Like a Pokemon.
I don't really understand
What?
why I had to lose my
Arjan.
seasons to learn that.
Maybe we'll learn more with Summer.
Maybe you losing your seasons made you realize something about yourself.
Dying sucks.
Caleb. Okay. Gwen scoots over to Caleb and just like grabs his hand and holds it. So rest, Waystone, get out of Green Reach.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So you guys continue resting, and at this point, more and more of these halflings are coming up to give their thanks. And after about 2 hours or so of you guys having rested here and indulged in revelries, someone recognizes you, Gwen.
Oh.
And when they do, they look at you with the look of seeing a ghost. Like they didn't think that they would ever see your face again. And they come up to you and just say, "You always were a shining knight." And they set a tray of very thinly sliced, very finely cut meats on a plate in front of you. And then they give a gentle bow. And
Is
then
it a girl? Is it a girl?
It is not a girl.
Dang it.
Gwen, make a history check.
Okay. Fucker. 5.
You've never seen this halfling before in your whole goddamn life.
Alright, that's weird. Thanks.
And
Thanks, citizen.
they smile to themselves and then continue off.
I know what that was, and I'm upset that I don't remember.
Nights in the courtyard.
Yep.
That.
Yeah, so your day goes by fairly uneventfully, other than these halflings all coming out to give their thanks to you. And they keep bringing out more food.
Oh,
They
no,
keep bringing out more drink.
Ah!
As much as you will have, they are willing to give.
Ah, man, I can eat another bite.
Arjan.
You guys are the best.
Arjan voraciously eats all the calories. Because he's a
He's-
big boy.
He has been denied for so long.
Can Corey taste the food?
In your current form, you cannot.
Damn it! I'm gonna try and go back into my spring form one more time.
You find that the barrier is still there,
Curses.
and you feel like you won't be able to try again until dawn of the next day.
Okay. I grip the Corvid skull and I whisper sweet nothings into the Raven Queen's ear, which is to say, I curse her name. I curse her
I
name.
was gonna say.
Okay. And throughout this day, several individuals in very well-made clothes end up coming to deliver their thanks unto you. None of them seem to recognize who you are, Gwen.
That's fine.
But they call you a child of the Reach nonetheless. And you end up meeting... where is my list? You end up meeting Leona Shielding, who is one of the heads of what were the 5 major families within Greenreach proper. You meet Cal and Sherry Farfield. It seems like the heads of the Grovekeld family did not make it through the winter, and the heads of the Thimblefish family also did not make it through the winter.
Ooh.
Was that us? That might have been us.
I don't think so. Doesn't sound like us.
And
The bad guys.
they end up paying each of you a combined total of 2,000 gold per.
Holy
2,000 gold per?
Yes.
yes!
This is Indoor making up for all the times we were denied money.
You just saved the lives of 3 of the wealthiest families in the entire region.
Oh shit!
So,
Gwen's gonna ask about the spice bottoms.
2,000 gold?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how much
Yes.
money I had to my name? 6
46
silver and 5 copper. Corey jingles when she walks now.
You always jingled when you walk. You wear plate mail.
Careful.
Yeah,
No,
Gwen
I wore
will,
splint, you silly goose.
Gwen will ask about the spice bottoms and if anybody knows anything.
It
can I
would
take 500 from everybody for the party
Mhm.
funds?
Yes. Absolutely.
it would appear that Todd the Sixth Spice Bottom and Philippa Spice Bottom were both able they were both able to make it to the boroughs beneath the city, as well as the majority, if not all, of the Spice Bottom family.
All right. After a fair bit of revelry and alcohol, Gwen's gonna kind of like lean on Arjan, and she's just gonna say, "Arjan, tomorrow we gotta deal with make sure we deal with the hag thing, and then we'll do the Waystone thing. And I think I want to see my dad and my mom."
I really don't think I'm going to be able to find that hag.
Well, I want to make sure that he's like gone, and not like hiding in the woods somewhere. Then we're gonna have to like come back and deal with it.
But I mean, it was flying away. I really don't think I'm going to be able to track it.
Gwen takes his head in her hands and she like makes him look at her. You're like the best tracker I know, and I think that you can do anything you set your mind to.
What was that about your dad?
I just want I think we should like stop by on the way out. They make a really good soup.
Okay.
Okay. You're like my favorite. I mean, you're not, but like you like are, you know?
No.
I mean, like I might have like I thought for a little bit that I thought I might be like in love with you, but then I realized that like I'm just in love with the idea of you. And then I'm like, it's more like a friend love, you know?
No, I really don't know.
I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Okay.
Caleb, you and
What?
Corey witness this.
I turn to Corey, shake my head, and he's gonna just take a small stroll outside.
No,
Corey's, like-
no, not without me, you're not.
Corey's just sitting there whispering to her raven skull, just like, I am too fucking sober for this.
Gwen is going to stumble after Caleb. She is not.
Caleb's
letting
going
him out of her
to Caleb's going
Right.
to take her hand and then like put it on Corey's hand, who's still in the raven form.
Wait a second. Perception check at disadvantage.
Yes.
That's a 7.
You got your hand on Caleb's hand, and he ain't going
He
anyplace.
ain't going anywhere. And she's
No.
gonna like lean up against Corey's side and like start to fall asleep.
I'm not gonna go far. I just need some air.
That's damn right you're not.
Just be careful, all right?
What?
Losing once is enough.
Hey, Careful's my middle name. I don't actually have a middle name or a last name. Careful's my last name. Start walking out.
Corey will just put a hand on Gwen's head and just kind of stroke her hair.
I think Corey's really pretty, and I don't understand why she doesn't think I'm pretty.
I think Corey thinks you're pretty.
But she said it wasn't divine.
I think she meant that in a literal sense. You look divine, Gwen.
Caleb, you're so nice to me. I was so glad you're back. She's just start crying.
I imagine it's an ugly cry. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot have the pretty cry when you're that many beers in. It's against the rules. Arjan, make a Constitution save.
13.
You're holding yourself pretty well. You're used to dealing with poisons. Booze is just another poison, and unlike your friends, you have been carbo loading like a motherfucker, so it actually is able to like absorb in your tummy.
Corey's just gonna look at Arjan and just like put out an arm like, you want in on this? Aw.
Bless that
Boom.
boy.
The table sort of
This is-
jostles a little bit.
She'll just like kind of tip him a little bit so that he's not like face down on the table so that she can tell that he's breathing. And now she's stuck here with the two drunks.
Okay. If you would like to escape, you can use a sleight of hand check.
You know what else I can use?
Just
Yeah.
Won't that hurt us?
no. It's only upon
No,
arrival.
it only hurts the people that I land next to, and only if I want to.
I'm leaning on you. I'm asleep on your arm.
It is established Gwen is a very heavy sleeper. Especially when she's been drinking for a solid 6 hours.
She moves gently so that Gwen will like flop onto her chair when she teleports, and then she just out.
And Caleb, where are you going?
Take a walk around, maybe the street. Get
Okay.
his head together.
And as you are out walking, Corey, you exit out of the building and you see Caleb maybe about 60 feet away at this point.
And the moon is probably almost full.
It's beginning its waning phase.
Hmm.
Make another survival check.
Oh, that's pretty good. Dirty 20.
You know that before you went into the tree, you were 4 days away from a full moon.
Huh. Well, that's 4 days of our lives we're never getting back. Corey's gonna spend the night on the roof
Okay.
so she can keep an eye on when Caleb gets back.
All right, and Caleb, you by the time that you circle back to the bar, if you circle back to the bar, you will see that Corey has found herself atop the roof and is just sort of looking out at the proximity of Greenreach.
Calem's going to Blessing of the Raven Queen up to the roof, wait like the 6 seconds and let it dissipate before he plops down next to Corey.
And Corey, when you see the Blessing of the Raven Queen on Caleb, the crack that had formed along the base of his mask has fixed itself. And it is in the shape of what appears to be that same kind of barn owl styling that you had seen before.
Oh, fucking rad.
Caleb, it
That's
feels
new.
no different for you.
When he sits down, she's like, "That's a new look."
Thanks. I got it from my dad. Is that the joke I make here?
Perhaps. Oh shoot! I was gonna send a letter to my dad. Can I have like summoned Ampleforth before sitting on the roof?
I'm okay with you summoning him on the roof. I've played enough Witcher 3 to see Roach just appear on a roof like, motherfucker, what are you doing up there, you goddamn horse?
Roach.
When Caleb mentions dad, she's like, "Oh, I never summoned." Give me a second, and she will stand up and summon Ampleforth on the roof.
And Ampleforth appears, and like knees buckling a little bit until they find the right place. It seems like because they have more of cloven hooves rather than horse-like hooves, they're able to kind of like situate themselves better on slanted angles. But there's the definite sound of groaning of the boards of the roof bending to Ampleforth's weight.
There's a halfling that stumbles out of the brewery, looks up at the horse, and then just stumbles back in. There's a horse
He's got
in
like
the
a,
brewery.
got like a mug of ale as he's stumbling out, looks up, dumps the mug of ale out on the ground, and walks back in.
Yep. Mumbles something to himself about needing more coffee.
Do I have any mail?
What was the last letter that you had sent?
Goddamn. It was a quickly, hastily written letter telling Dad that the prosthetic arm wasn't for Caleb's leg; it was for her. She had lost an arm,
Okay.
and also like a lot of panicked scribbling about like winter and how it might be leaking into the natural plane and what's going on at home
And the message that you get back is it's a series of letters.
oh fuck,
It isn't just one,
oh shit.
but as you and they appear as these more crystalline spheres that you remember having received earlier. And when you activate the first one, you see your dad's face very close to the projection, and then a couple steps back, and he says, "Test number 34. We are gaining articulation." And you see that he has like a metallic exo arm that he is then like trying to grab a bottle with, but then there's too much force and the bottle shatters. And then he rushes forward and he hits something close to the camera. And then test 43. And then it's just a seems to be his development log. And he begins each one by saying that he loves you, and that he wants you to know that your mother loves you. And at the end of each of the logs, he reaffirms that and promises that when you get to the Feywild, he will have something. He doesn't know how good it will be, but testing shows positive results. And as he says that in the final one, you see that there is a spark near the elbow, and then smoke begins coming up from it.
Is your dad okay?
Oh no, that's how he is all the time.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Corey actually like is she winds up crying halfway through, but like in the happy way.
Okay.
Is there is there anything that you wanted to say to him before I send anything back?
Oh, I haven't had time to write in my journal, but he will. I don't have that spell prepared. No,
We can wait until morning.
Sure.
And Ampleforth just looks at you very worriedly, still on the roof, and is like trying to find a comfy spot for its large form to lay.
Oh.
You know, for Ampleforth's sake, I'm fine for now. If I have anything, I'll let you know.
All right. Well, just remember, anytime. She'll write something quickly for her father. Let him know that she loves him. Tell Mom I love you. Things have been scary on the natural plane for a little bit, but she thinks that everything's going to be okay.
All right.
And then she'll send that off.
And Ampleforth just looks at you and gives you the most appreciative blep that you have ever seen a horse give.
Aww.
And then you see them like rear up and charge off of the roof, and you see them jump off of the end, like the end of this roof. And then there is a whooshing sound, and you see spring flowers shoot up from where Ampleforth had run, and they begin to just list down onto the ground almost like snowflakes.
Corey kind of smiles, watching him leave. And she'll look at Caleb and say, Are you okay?
Tired for the most part, but I think I'm fine. I haven't felt anything weird in the last couple hours.
She just sort of nods. Arjan and I have both been through that. So if you ever need to talk, either one of us, I'm sure. I mean, I probably shouldn't speak for him, but I know that he cares about you. And I care about you.
I care about you guys too. I don't remember specifically what happened, but I don't know. I should have been in her grasp, but I wasn't. And that weirds me out just a little bit. But that's a good thing, right?
I think so.
He will lean back and just look up at the moon.
Just like lie completely on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey will lie down too, and like the two of them will stargaze for a while.
And Calum, as you stare up at the night sky, you have another flashing memory of your time in between. And it is a word, a set of words to be precise. And the set of words was Cyanus Shine.
Cyanus shine.
And when you remember that word and when you hear that word almost on the night winds, you remember that that was the name that your parents had given you. And in Elven, it means moon's light.
He will whisper it just loud enough for Corey to hear. And he'll turn his head. That's what my father called me, so I think that's my name.
She just kind of looks up at the stars for a second and then turns her head to look Caleb in the eyes. And she says, "It's beautiful."
Doesn't really fit me too well, though.
Though you should probably keep it to yourself.
Oh no, I gave it to another Fae. Whatever am I gonna do? We'll see what happens.
All right. And is there anything else that the two of you wanted to do while up on the roof? Do you fall asleep up there?
Is it nice enough to?
It is nice enough to. It's a spring morning, although you are surrounded by snow. You might start developing a small cold from doing this, but you'll
Cold
be fine.
winter cloak.
Yep.
Over the both.
Aw, they do that. Corey makes sure he gets more of the cloak because he needs it more.
Okay. And Caleb, you continue to remember more from your time in between as you sleep. Morning comes. Gwen, you have passed out at the seat that you had been resting in for hours and hours, and when you wake up, there's food that's on the table. There's day-old booze that's also on the table, and you don't feel incredibly well rested, but like you've slept in worse conditions. Arjan, you had passed out sitting, leaning forward onto the table, so you also aren't incredibly comfortable, but you do feel rested.
Oh, my head. Arjan.
Mm.
Just smacks his head. Arjan.
Ow.
It's wake up time. Ugh. My mouth tastes terrible. Where's Corey? I need the thing. Corey! Gwen starts like stumbling around.
And Gwen, you and Arjan find yourselves outside as you were calling around for Corey, and you see that she and Caleb have fallen asleep on the snowy rooftop of the tavern.
Ow, ow! Mom, chicka bow wow!
That wakes the
And
two of you up.
lovebirds! Wake up!
Corey is still laying there and she, like, her eyes open. She says, "If we lie still, do you think she'll leave us alone?"
Put on some pants and get down here, Corey!
We're never going to hear the end of this. Oh, can't hear you.
Me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
couldn't hear you.
Oh, Caleb just goes, nope. Nope. She's never gonna let us live this down. There is a grave way back over there with my name on it, so I could always just lie in it.
Corey! Hungover! Help, please!
Corey will hop down and just put a hand on Gwen's forehead and say, "If I do this, will you never speak of this again?"
She takes a long minute to consider.
As she's considering, Caleb tries to slide off, but it's like, oh! To the snow.
It's just 2 feet sticking out of a snowbank.
Fine, but only because he died yesterday.
All right. She gives her the 5 she needs.
Oh God, I feel way better. Thank you. Caleb, you all right?
Arjan.
Oh shit, she's gonna go pull him out.
Yeah. By the time you
Yeah.
get there, Gwen, Arjan had already grabbed both of the legs, and Arjan, this is a real leg. This isn't a soft squishy bean leg, and you pop Caleb up, and Caleb Snow has gotten into your armor.
Does he have feathers?
Under his armor, yes.
Okay. Just checking.
So, as he's dangling there in Arjan's arms,
Arjan's
Waystone?
gonna fright you. Set you down.
oh shoot, I forgot to do that last night.
What's
What?
up? What?
Research the Waystone.
Dude,
Sorry, cut me some slack.
I won't speak of it. Gwen turns and goes inside.
Arjan, do you need... She just wiggles her fingers.
I'm fine.
All right. Suit yourself. Put her hand behind her back and stride away.
Caleb will go in for breakfast, read through his spellbook to prepare his spells. His eyes kind of like eyebrows. Whoop. Oh,
There are several more wizard spells in there that you were fairly confident you had not written yourself. And it seems like they are in another handwriting.
How many more spells?
don't worry about it.
What?
Knights in the
Spells?
Courtyard.
Knights in the
courtyard.
courtyard. Interesting.
You all right, buddy?
Hmm. Tilts his head. I know I'm not supposed to try anything. I closes the book and walks back outside.
Dude, breakfast. God damn it. Gwen gets down and like trudges after him. I'm not letting you out of my sights. I know you slipped me last night. I don't know how,
No.
but you were super strixy about it.
I have a -1 dexterity. What do you mean?
I was like really hammered. Oh, jeez.
It's just blood.
Oh, Harshan. Yeah, Caleb will stand outside of the bar and he's going to touch his chest and cast Fly on himself.
Oh no.
And there is a sound of heavy fluttering wings. And 2 large wings appear out of your back. Caleb, would you like to describe them?
I imagine they start. I really want like the Meta Knight cape. They, like his cape splits in half and then fans out like black owl wings.
Nice. They flex a little bit, and Caleb, you can feel them tense on your back.
That's different.
Is this like a Shatter Kai thing?
No, I think this is a wizard thing. And he will hop once, twice, and then.
Caleb, you
Are
begin
you
to
a wizard
fly.
now?
He's been a wizard for a while.
Gwen doesn't know that.
I know.
All magic is magic to Gwen.
God.
He will take a lap around the block and then land.
And as you do, you see that the halflings that have returned are beginning to shovel walkways in front of houses and in front of businesses, and they are doing their best to try and put things back as best they can. You see that you hear the sound of hammers and nails, and then you know that there are some repairs on buildings that are being put. You see that there are smokestacks coming up from buildings now as people have returned and are in need of warmth.
Yeah, when he lands, he'll dismiss it. Well, the town is rebuilding. at the very least.
Yeah, they're hardy people. They'll move on. So, closing the gate today?
Me too.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Can you just...
I heard that there was another thing added to our docket last night.
What was that?
Oh, we're going to go and see your parents.
They make excellent soup.
Yeah, so... No secrets. When we were in the tree, I kind of saw a world where I stayed, and I made things better here. Anyways, I think it's probably a good idea if I stop by.
Wait, you had a good dream in the tree?
I mean, kind of. Like, I made it so that the halflings had like an actual army instead of like no way to defend themselves.
Did everyone have a good dream in the tree?
I wouldn't say it was good.
I also wouldn't say it was particularly good.
I would say 50-50 on mine.
You guys want to talk about it on the way?
Yeah, sure.
They do that.
Okay.
Coriander's perturbed by how nightmarish hers was in comparison to everyone else's.
Arjan
Rajan compares a little.
Arjan really doesn't want to talk about his dream.
Fair.
And we accept that because we're those kind of friends.
We don't push it.
Fucker. Audiocast listeners, RJ just pushed it real good.
Terrible.
Yeah, you all make your way to the Waystone, and along the path there are more halflings that seem to just raise their hands and give thanks. And you are met with a plethora of unique cheeses and beverages and homemade breads and small meats. It seems like every halfling wants to give you something as thanks. It's like going to Costco when you're hungry and all of the free sample people are giving you the best selection they have.
Wait, Arjan, we kind of need those. We need to walk back to the wagon and get that mended.
Okay.
Let the boy eat. Look at him. He's growing.
Yeah, and we'll pat him on the... It's okay. Go ahead.
Now I feel very self-conscious about it.
Oh, shit, guys. We got to get back to Cybra.
Oh shoot! Yeah, that's also a thing we need to do.
All right, let's wrap this up real quick. We got to get back.
We were a little distracted.
The food and beer. Ah!
All right. So we go to the Waystone first.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, we do that. We go to the Waystone.
How do we kill it?
How do we kill it?
How do we kill it, Caleb?
Caleb puts a hand on the Waystone and looks at everyone and casts Nevermore at 4th level.
Make an attack roll.
Oh boy.
You didn't.
Of all the fucking things to nat 20 on.
RJ!
Yeah. Bwomp, 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 bwomp.
Bump, bump, indeed.
Roll that damage.
Oh, sorry. It's at disadvantage because
Oh,
I died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can the boy get it twice?
But okay, is
Damn. No,
the
you show me. You show me. Move your camera.
Take a picture.
Oh my god.
Embrace your destiny, child. Or Destiny's Child. Either one works.
I was going to say, is the Waystone considered prone? but go off, I
Don't
guess.
matter. Don't matter.
70 points of force damage.
Jesus Christ.
Them fucking wizards.
It looks like a wrecking ball as the base of this large stone pillar with intricate carvings just blasts through. And then you hear a creaking noise as it was uneven in the break and it begins to topple.
Oh, no, 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 no.
I need you all to make dexterity saves.
+3.
Can I Blessing of the Raven Queen away?
You've already used, yeah, you could.
I took a long
Yeah,
rest.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll take
Arjan,
that
what'd you
one.
get?
That's 20 for 26.
Bwomp, 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 bwomp.
12.
Filthy 20.
Hoo-hoo.
8.
Okay. Corey, you are going to be taking 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Reduced by 3.
So remove 3 of that down to 11.
The Prometheus school of running away from things.
Arjan, you are going to take 6. Or you take 7. And Gwen, you also take 7. Calum, you Blessing of the Raven Queen out of there before. Oh, no? Okay.
I'll just run.
You will
So I
also
got
take
12.
7.
Cool.
Oh my god, Corey, are you okay?
Corey?
Corey, you are
Course.
just like covered in rubble of a waystone.
Yeah.
Gwen starts shoveling.
She pops out of the rubble. I'm fine.
Ah!
Sorry, next time we'll stand about 30 feet back.
Yep, we'll remember this for next time we have to destroy a waystone.
It's a learning experience.
Hey guys, question. If we destroy all the waystones, can Corey go back home?
Well, if you're a high enough wizard, there are spells that would allow you to shift planes.
It's true. I mean, Soul sent me back home.
Who?
The
So,
big tree.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you were talking about the god.
though I'm sure that there are friendlier methods of doing that.
He touched you.
Mm,
All right, let's go back and get our animals.
yeah.
I wonder if they'll let us borrow ponies. I mean, I feel like we've taken enough from them. I mean, like, Arjan, are you appeased? Is your dragon thirst appeased? Sorry, that was racist. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry about that.
We got
Yeah,
a fucking ton of gold
think-
out of this.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right, cool. So, animals, then. Wait, we did the two things. Animals make a stop, and then
Search
Anything else?
cellar.
See your
Yeah.
Still
parents.
want to go back to Chua and see if he could get an audience with the Raven Queen.
I'm sorry, you what? You want to go back to Chua to see the Raven Queen?
I mean, didn't you and Gwen have a plan to try
Hi.
and...
I'm Gwen.
I'm
I.
talking to Caleb.
Oh.
Hello, Gwen.
Hi. What's up?
Gwen, you and Caleb had a plan to talk to the Raven Queen, didn't you?
Yeah, but not now.
Yeah, Chua would have everything ready anytime we popped in, so.
Do we still
Okay.
want to do that?
I don't know. We'll see if any more stuff happens.
I mean, we're pretty well decided that we're not going to take anyone to the Rookery of Bones, right?
Yeah, I'm just worried that she might be able to possess somebody and then take the shield that way through this audience. So,
That sounds awful as well.
Well, I can talk to her tonight.
let's not.
No, I mean, I can talk to Chua tonight.
Oh, okay. You can do that.
Yeah.
Caleb.
Yeah.
One of the spells that I was able to learn from Team At was protection from good. would we maybe be able to leverage that on each of us so that nobody gets possessed?
How many? It's one, I believe. It'll only affect one person, so
Hey, if it happens though, we can just do the thing, right? No. I mean, like, do the spell, and then,
This spell is more of a preventative thing.
well, then we have to do it all the time, right? Spells don't last forever, or so I've been told.
Right, but if we know that we're going into something,
Yeah.
then we can.
at the very least,
Prepare.
cast it on somebody. Yeah.
We say this as we're walking back to the
And we
animals.
stand in the rubble and we are.
Okay. So you end up making your way back to the other brewery that you had initially come from. It is just labeled Grovekeld Brewery. And as you get near, you can see that most of the snow within about 30 feet of the brewery itself has all been melted away. And you can see that there is a small plot of land where there are tall stalks of some green looking thing. And there are other vegetation spots that are in the process of growing. And as you get near, you can hear the sure sound barking of Cybra as she begins rushing out of the distillery towards the lot of you. You see that Plum is in the process of grabbing Rumble Thunder by the horns and is yelling something about, "You need to stop eating those! I'm trying really hard!" And he's like trying to wrestle them, but with Cybra's barking, Plum stops and turns to the lot of you. "Hey, how's it going?" And at that, Rumble Thunder knocks him in the chest with her massive horns, and he gets sent tumbling down onto the ground. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful finale to our Advent arc. So you know what that means.
Level up.
You guys all get to level. You've earned it. You defeated in this area alone so many of these frostlings. You defeated hags and dragons and powerful archfey. And you
Wasn't a dragon.
wasn't a dragon. Close. Wink. But with that, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the channel, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. You can catch me here on Monday as Calum the Shatterkai Cleric, which I failed to mention at the beginning of the show. On Tuesday, we play Curse of Strahd, run by Nate Keener. We're in the Amber Temple. I play Bartholomew, a human ranger, blood hunter, werewolf.
And
You're not Bartholomew tomorrow. You take that back.
Yeah. I'm not Bartholomew anymore. I'm Sergey. Hey, you can also catch me and the lovely LB Hackemup on Sunday over at the Pro Restarters channel, where we play the Cypher system in a game called Phase. I've become the champion to a god.
A robo god.
A robo god. That's no moon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
TodayKeener.com.
I'm LB Hackemup, and I get action surge, bitches. Get ready for 4 attacks. I'm play Gwen tonight. Tomorrow, I'm gonna play Sylvie Malrezka, who's having a little bit better time emotionally dealing with stuff. And on Friday, you can catch me on Damaberry's channel. We are playing Ghosts of Saltmarsh, where I play a Triton druid who is in real trouble with her husband because we've been gone for 18 months and he's not. She wrote a letter, but I'm sure he hasn't gotten it yet. Anyways, Sunday you can catch me on Monster of the Week at G Game Night's channel at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then after that, we play in the phase game where I play a really spooky character who can summon demons from her mind, just right now. So they were pretty, yeah, that was my imagination. I didn't come up with that, just as a thing. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm Cyber. You can find me at CyberWolf1201 on Twitter where I ship posts. I'm a streamer. I do stuff on twitch.tv/CyberWolf1201, but not this weekend. It's Critical Role's in my town. So all the archives of that channel are on YouTube, youtube.com/CyberWolf1201, where you can also find a podcast I call with an NID called Let's Talk About It or Get Drunk, Do Parkour, and talk about stuff going on in the RPG world. You can also find some D&D Beyond homebrew tutorials, and for other RPG stuff that I'm in, Patreon, DM's Guild. You can also find me here on Mondays playing Arjan, the Dragonborn, this guy, and on Thursdays in the Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign, where I play Albus, the Simic hybrid sorcerer. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, everybody. My name is Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me here on Monday playing Coriander, the Elegant Paladin, or on Tuesday running Curse of Strahd. And until next time, guess who just got a hold of Revivify, bitches? DanaeKeener.com.
Nice. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, if this was your first time checking us out, consider going to our YouTube or anywhere audiocasts are found, and you can check us out under the same name. But for now, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. And I feel like this is going to be a good one. So if you are interested in that, go to, again, patreon.com/Indoor Adventures to find out our players' thoughts and feelings about this roller coaster of emotion that we just went on. But with that, I would like to say once again, thank you to everybody who stopped by. Thank you to these wonderful players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!